She was a super busy manager with a global social media brand until the discovery of her thyroid cancer made her re-evaluate her life choices. This is Krista Gun and welcome back to another episode of Womenpreneur Asia, the podcast that celebrates Asian women entrepreneurs across Asia and tells the stories behind their journeys. As always, this episode is sponsored by Redbox Studio. Today I'm speaking with Marie Nguyen Long Chau Sa, co-founder of Live in Flow and a former TikTok partnership manager in Vietnam. Marie has built a beautifully human approach to transitions, not just changing jobs, but understanding who you are, what opens you up, and how to surround yourself with a community that fuels your growth. She speaks about her journey from corporate intensity to coaching, the power of inner work and clarity, and how she helps women cultivate a life that flows rather than forces. If you're undergoing your own transition or wondering if there are other paths you should take, you'll want to hear Marie's story. Hello, Sa. Welcome to Womenpreneur Asia.
Hello, Krista.
Before we get started, could you let us know what it is that you are doing and where are you?
I'm really happy to be here today. I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I'm the co-founder of the Live in Flow program, and I'm also a companion for professionals who are in or about to step into a transition journey.
So it means that you are helping women only.
I'm really focused on women first.
So you are helping people with transitions. And what brought you here to this point where you are helping people with transitions in their life?
I believe that nothing is coincidence. So when I look back, I can see every step, every challenge, and every question brought me to this moment. I start with my professional journey. I spent more than 10 years in business development, from branding to e-commerce, performance marketing, and later TikTok. But around early 2021, something started inside me. What's next? And that whisper became louder when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. It was a real wake-up call. And not only physically, but emotionally and even spiritually. I realized something inside me was no longer alive. And life had been giving me a signal for a long time how easily we can lose our balance, pouring on our energy into the one part of life and keep running from the one thing to the next until we feel completely drained. And I remember my thinking at that time, okay, there must be another way. The way that feels more rounded, more honest, and more sustainability. And that's what led me to join a Women Empowerment Club of US Consulate, where I met a lot of incredible women, some leading businesses or community projects. And from there, I learned that, there are so many ways to live meaningful. So what is my way? And I began exploring my own path through coaching, practical meditation, and neuroscience. This practice helped me come back to myself and slowly shape what I call right now Live in Flow. So when I say it's not a coincidence that I'm here, I really mean it. It's been a whole journey of learning and coming home to myself.
Could I just ask you, what were you doing in TikTok?
I'm a partnership manager and a vertical lead at TikTok. I have a team and we work directly with some big brands in Vietnam to help them increase their sales and brand awareness on TikTok.
Are you front-facing? Were you in front of the camera or were you behind the camera?
I'm in front of cameras. Actually, my scope is working directly with clients, make insights from the platform to them to help them grow their business.
So did it involve you speaking and doing a lot of speaking in front of clients or in front of other people?
I had meetings all day. And I remember that the day I had 11 meetings for a day. Yeah, because we have a lot of clients and I need to join a meeting with client, join a meeting with internal team, the product team, the campaign team to ensure that we can deliver the value to clients and help them grow.
11 meetings in a day. So it means that you were really working very hard. It seems to me that you really work so hard.
Sometimes we don't know what we are. Like I am pouring all of my energy for work. So this is the reason why another field of my life, my health, is break. So because of that journey, I learned a lot for myself.
If you don't mind, could we go into a little bit about your health? After that, what happened?
The thyroid cancer, but it's not really seriously. I came to a hospital and my doctor helped me to take all of my base dose out. And I focus on the health balanced lifestyle to recover. Yeah, it's good now. I can say that.
Okay, so you have recovered from it.
Yeah.
Was that also a reason why you decided to take a break from work and think about what you wanted to do?
I think over 10 years in corporate life, I worked a lot. And I think that when we grow up from university, jump to the work environment, we just think about how we can earn money, how we can grow. And it's like the path that society created for us. When I know my health is affected by lifestyle, I know this is the wrong way. I believe that we have another way. So I started to exploring my way. Until now, it's around more than 2 years. I recover and I started my journey to exploring. This is like the two projects in the same time. I still work for corporate and I still exploring my own path.
Interesting, because you're still in corporate and you're exploring your new path. So how do you start the exploration? A lot of people always think of this. What should I explore? Okay, so how do you get there?
Most of the time, when we think about transition, we think about visible changes, like changing jobs, getting a promotion, moving a new place, or starting a new business. But I have learned that they are only the results of the deeper change, a change in how we see ourselves, our life, and even the world. When I look at myself and I know that, I wanted something different. But things often move too fast. When we feel change coming, our minds jump straight into planning, like what next, what step, strategy, the action plan, or risk management, how I can earn the same salary like this. So we think the future must be better than now, and we must work hard to get there. We feel we need to learn more, do more, be more before we can move to the next chapter. So that's why many people see transition as something really heavy, something that is brave or sacrifice. We want to fix it right away, do something, decide something, change something, just to feel better. So when a transition begins, we often rush into it. And because of our life still running, so we get overwhelmed and then we leave it unfinished. I realized that transition is not the point that we need to get done. This is our journey, day by day, and starting from ourselves first. So don't rush, you have a whole life to do it.
I like your point about transition, which you said that it's not getting from one thing into another, which a lot of people feel like, okay, if I leave this job, what new job will I take on? Or if I leave this job, even if I don't take a new job, what will I do? Because I think that is a lot of people's fear is, I need to be doing something. I can't just leave and float around. So that is, I think, a very interesting point that you made about transition. And I think that is also a fear, right? A fear of not getting into something better or bigger or more exciting than your last job or your last role or your last engagement with a project. What were your thought processes? I know you mentioned just now that it's not a destination, right? It's just a process that you go through. So share with me what that process was like for you. Okay, when you went through that, or when you get out of the job, maybe you can start from the time when you left your job. What was that transition process like, so that we can understand, like, how does it feel to be in that space where transition is like a journey, but at the same time, some people think that journey will end at some point.
I think that point here, we usually think too much. We think a lot, but we don't understand enough. And when we understand enough, we have the clarity, we have insight. Ultimately, we know exactly what is the action we need to take. Understand our natural ability to know what truly fits us, instead of relying on knowledge, other people experience, information, or even some framework. Usually when we face a change, the first thing we use is our intellect. We start doing things right away. I remember when I first started this journey, I planned to do so many things. So personal branding, podcast, certifications. The funny thing is, I didn't move. Or sometimes I feel excited at the beginning, when then slowly lost energy, lost connection, and feel confused again. Because all of that was happening in my head, not in my reality. When you have clarity, you know exactly what is the point. We ask advice from people we see as successful, but what we see is only the results. And we hope we can get the result like that. But we don't really know what they have been through, their foundation, or the insights they gain from their own experience. I can start when I have clarity first. This clarity is not only about seeing myself clearly, but it is seeing the whole picture. It's not just a one moment, it's a process. And process of embracing it, letting myself try and letting myself explore. But with that way of being, I naturally get this. And from those inside, things become easier. Planning, framework, or advice are all good, but they cannot work if I don't have clarity. I remember very clearly the moment I allow myself to begin, to step in, to experience, observe, and slowly shape my way. It made me feel ease and balance and no rush. This is not the project that I need to get done. It sounds simple, but it requires stillness and a little bit compassion for ourselves.
I want you to talk a little about the discomfort, because there are two things that came up for me in this conversation just now, right? You talk about clarity and taking time to really understand yourself, and it's not like a project to be done. It's just your own way of finding out what you really want, right? In a way, you're looking for the answers within yourself. And then you also talk about discomfort. What were some of the emotions or discomfort that came to you as you were looking for clarity during this time?
This is a really good question. I think this is a lot emotion that come to me at that time. But first of all is the exciting. So when we imagine something new, we feel really excited. But immediately after that, fear. I fear because I worry that I'm not enough. And 2 years later, I have a gap. And I need to do something to close this gap. So everyone, me like, hello, Sa from TikTok, Sa, the partnership manager from TikTok. And I always introduce myself to everybody like that. So if I left TikTok and I create something new for my own self, so how I can introduce myself? I think too much and I think that, I need to do something like personal branding or I need to get more certificate. But it's a trap. I can know this is a trap because fear energy pushes me to planning to do something to cover this fear. After that, I slow down. And when I slow down, I'm still fear because I think that, I need to do. But fortunately for me, because I have a companion who will always support me to create a space for me to talk, to embrace all of my emotion, my thinking.
It is a very interesting thing. It's not only for you, but I think for a lot of people, especially people who have been in corporate for a long time, they are so used to introducing themselves by their job title or position. And when they leave that, they feel that something is missing because now they don't know how to introduce themselves anymore. You were from TikTok, you're a partnership manager, so it's so natural for you to just go and say, hi, I'm Sa, I'm the partnership manager for TikTok. And then people were like, TikTok, big organization, famous organization. And then that becomes something that impresses people. And people are used to it, right? They know exactly what the brand stands for. And then when Sa decides to leave, you can't use that unless you say, I'm the former partnership manager for TikTok. So I think that is a really tough transition for people.
When I work for corporate, the environment is different when I work as a coach or a solo as a freelancer. So if someone has worked for a company for 10 or 15 years, stepping out to do something new is extremely challenging. Fortunately for me that I aware of this. So I slowly, step by step, find a new environment. And at the beginning, I shared that, I'm a coach. There's something people said, what are you coach? What's a coach about? What do you do? And I really confused, not enough clarity, and I have not enough insights. So I just introduce myself. Okay, I'm a former partnership manager at TikTok and YouTube work in the media for a while.
That is a good point, the environment. Because if you are still in your own environment, it's very hard for you to step into your new role if you are still with the same people. So I guess with the new change in your life, you need also a new change in environment or people or community, because then it makes the change real. Otherwise, the change will still be half and half. You'll be like half in your old environment and then half in the new environment. So you're like playing like a hybrid kind of character. So you have to really immerse yourself in that new environment. Let's talk about community. So how did you find that, or did you start it?
I cannot find it. I start creating a community for myself. When we think the community, we easily think of the group of people have the same mission, same goals. So I became clear that I wanted to be a coach. It came from my own experience of being stuck and then feeling fulfilled when I worked through my difficult transition with my coach. So I wish for a space where people could live a little easier together. So a community is where awareness and compassion could grow. And I know that as long as I stay connected to that intention, I could continue walking this path. So the question becomes, what kind of the environment can nourish this intention in me? And I think this is the same for anyone. So I talked about the clarity before. I talked about how we can understand ourselves. And this is really important because we can define the environment help us grow the quality we need. So when you know the quality you want to nurture inside yourself, it becomes much clearer with the community or space can truly support you. We want to reach out. So I create this environment with my coach.
So does it mean that it was like from the coaches, the people that you coach? That was how you created the community, means attracting the same like-minded people to come into the space, the environment that you are coaching in and you are teaching in.
Yeah. The one thing that we explore that we can make a change if we try to push it. But how we can make the sustainable change in our life. So we can do it. We can try it. We have not enough energy for that. But if we have the community, we have the friend work together, even we have a different objective, different goal, but we work together to support us, support our energy, our focus, and our presence. We create a community for who want to live with ease and live with flow. Before come to the community, we have the program that we learn together. And this is the 2 months we can explore ourselves and understand ourselves before we starting with the community, with the activity to nurture what we want to nurture.
So it means that they come through the program first so they can understand. At least they understand what it is that you're offering. Then they continue by being in that community so that they can sustain their practice. Talk to me a little bit about this program that you have. What does that program consist of?
We call programming Live in Flow. With all of my sharing until now, this is the reason why we created the Live in Flow community. So over the past year, we have experienced what it feels like to grow together, exactly grow together, to support each other with our presence, our energy, and our focus. But I would like to invite you start from your reality first, and I'd love to offer 1 or 2 sessions for anyone who is our audience. You can come to me and we can explore it together.
So does it mean that it is customized? It's not like a program, a standard program. It is something
Yes.
that you work with the client one-on-one to uncover what it is that they need. So is it a group program? I'm trying to understand, is it a group program or is it a one-on-one and then later they go into the community?
We are private program one-on-one and we are group program as well. You are encouraged to focus in yourself and design your way, your lifestyle first.
Okay.
So we didn't give any framework, any knowledge. We give you 2 things, space and catalyst, to help you touch yourself.
Unlike other programs where they give you frameworks and they give you a prescribed path or a way or a method or methodology or approach, yours is you want to encourage them to look for their own ways within themselves. So before we end, what's next for you personally and professionally?
I think that I continue to my flow. I know exactly that I'm so much more than what I think I am. So I'm just explore it. Yeah. Day by day. And I think that I can say with you, Krista, right now that I think this is my way. And I have a way, I just go with this way. And I really fulfill with this.
And where can people find you?
You can come to our website, liveinflow.com.
We'll put the links in the show notes when this episode airs. So thank you so much, Sa, for sharing about your transition journey. Having gone through all that and now you are creating, starting and nurturing that community that is focused on more of the inner work, right? Inner work of compassion, of self-discovery as well, to help them find themselves and the things that they want to do in this life.
I really appreciate the time to have a deep conversation with you. This is really personal story and personal my point of view, but I hope that uh, my presence and my energy can to be with to everyone who are listening to this podcast today.
Marie reminds us that transition isn't a single destination, but a practice of returning to ourselves, quietly, honestly, and with community. If you're in the middle of a transition or a phase where you're considering a few options, consider how you might slow down. And instead of rushing to create a 1 year or 5 year business plan or a life plan, why not invite stillness? And in that quiet, discover what truly nourishes you before you embark on the next step. So here's my question for you. What's one small step you can take this week to move towards your own flow? Share this with a friend and subscribe to Womenpreneur Asia for more practical insights about business and life. If you like more behind the scenes updates and news from our podcast guests, sign up for our list on our website at womenpreneurasia.com. This is Krista Gun, and I will see you next Friday for more conversations with women entrepreneurs across Asia.